Eravikulam National Park lies just 16 kilometres from the popular tourist town of Munnar in the Indian state of Kerala. During holiday periods, huge numbers of people flock into the park to see the scenery and the wild goats, the Nilgiri Thar. This is a chosen habitat for one of the world's rarest mammals, the Nilgiri Thar, a kind of wild goat. Everything you can see now in this video, you could see if you came here yourself. I have no special access. I spent just a single day shooting this video, which gives you an idea of how much you can see. Now let's just have a look at some of the wild flowers of these high mountain slopes.
Good morning.
Good morning, come on.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Which country?
In UK, London. Although the flowers were many and varied, the bird life was surprisingly scarce. And surprisingly enough, the most common bird was this red-whiskered bulbul, a very abundant bird in Indian gardens. By contrast, the grey-breasted laughing thrush is endemic to the Western Ghat mountains in which we're standing. Because of intensive hunting, by the end of the 20th century, the total numbers of the Nilgiri Thar had been reduced to approximately 100. With good protection, their numbers have now recovered, and there are more than 3,000 nationally. The hooves are specially adapted for being non-slip on steep, smooth, rocky slopes. In the early morning, when I first arrived, all the tar were in the distance. All this was filmed on a long lens, hence the heat shimmer coming off the hot rocks. As larger and larger crowds of people arrived, so the tar began to trek towards us to join us. These mountain grasses are extremely tough and hard, but the goat's teeth can easily cope with them. Goats are renowned for eating just about anything. To my nose, the crushed leaves of this plant smell pretty awful, not at all palatable. And yet the tar was quite happy to munch away on them. The plant being eaten here is a substantial stand of the famous Nilgiri. I'll just give you a few seconds to read what's on the notice. Sights such as this, incredibly spectacular, with a glorious carpet of pink flowers, only occur every 12 years. Then thousands of people flock in from all over India to see it. But when out of flower, the plants don't look particularly special, as you can see. By late January, when I was in the park, the latest set of lambs were quite well grown. Tender interactions with their mothers had virtually ceased, apart from the odd futile attempt to suckle. Thank you. As the day warms up, some of the tar moved into the small patches of forest called sholas. Quietly chewing the cud in the cooler shade then becomes one of the main occupations.